This is a driver, and this is an iron. And you'll notice that there's a bit of a difference between the two, in that one is an awful lot longer than the other. How do we hit them both? I hear so many times people like, well, I can hit my irons, but I can't my driver. Or I can hit my driver, but I can't hit my irons. Like they can't seem to hit both. Well, that's because there's a difference between the two of them. I'm going to show you what that is. Look at this. If I'm in here with my iron, where it should be, okay, and I hit it, and then I go to my driver, if I have the same setup, I'm going to have to back way up here and be way further from the ball. But here's the problem. If I hit this the same way that I did my iron, well, I've just snap sliced that out of bounds. That is no bueno. Unless, of course, you like snap slicing it out of bounds. But there is one giant key difference between the driver and the irons. If I put both balls there in the same place, my iron, I'm going to be here, relatively centered in the stance, ready to go. My weight is going to be centered here, and I'm going to spin around that spine angle, wanting to be there. Okay, see that spine angle? However, a driver, I'm not here. I'm up there. And if I'm up there, and my shoulders and spine angle are for here, that is going to be left. That's going to pull me left, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be here and I'm going to go, I want to get up to this ball. I've just moved my shoulders, and now I'm all screwed up. And because on an iron, the club is coming down this way, and a driver, the club is coming through this way, the path is different, which means we have to make this ridiculously important movement right here. Ready? I'm set up, ready to go. Watch this. Boom. I've now changed my swing path. Now I'm ready to hit the driver. And then if I went back to the iron, I would have to go boom. I've now changed my swing path. Without that major change, you're going to have so many problems hitting both your irons and your driver well. So I hit the iron, nice and stable, in the center, back, and through. Magic. Then I go to the driver, same thing. No, not the same thing, a different thing. It's the same swing, but watch this. If I was to set up in my iron stance, okay, and I was to step back this way, in order to get that club to the ball without turning, I'd have to tilt. Huh. That worked a lot better. So if you're struggling hitting your irons and then your driver, or your driver and then your irons, I'd recommend having a little look at where your spine angle is. Because personally, I like hitting them like this. The other thing that I think is pretty neat with the driver, especially, it's happening with all the clubs, but more so with the driver because we're more this way, is that when we swing a weight, okay, that weight is pulling us to where it's going. So if I'm spinning this way, I've got a heavy weight, I have to apply backwards force in order to stay where I am. I have to pull back, and the heavier the weight, the more I've got to pull back. So the same way, when we're into our driver swing here, because there's swing out that way, our body must pull backwards away from the ball in order to keep the same power. Otherwise, we want to fall forward. If we fall forward, well, we're going to hit that little snap slicey thing. Falling forward's no good. So you want to apply some pressure, some force away from the ball, opposite that big spin that you've got going on. So between that push back and that spine angle, you should be able to figure out the difference between your driver and this short little iron thingy right here.